Kicking it with KeKe. Kicking it with KeKe. Kicking it with KeKe. Full of personality. Switching up the storyline on God, we making history.
Writing books, changing lives, one day at a time. Put your problems to the side. Enjoy yourself. Free your mind.
Kicking it with KeKe.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Kicking It with KeKe, Life, Love, and all that other shit. I am your host, KeKe Chanel. Y'all already know we're in season 4, so y'all are familiar with me and what my podcast is all about. I believe that when we operate as our highest self, we live life more abundantly. Today's episode is very special because we have a newly published author and she is related to me. So that makes it 10 times more rewarding to have her on my podcast today. I like to give my guests the opportunity to introduce themselves. So, cousin, go ahead and tell the people who you are.
Yes, my name is Debbie Burton, and I'm from Greensboro, Louisiana.
Shout out to Greensburg, G-Town in the house, a town that is near and dear to our hearts, right?
Yeah,
Yes. So Debbie experienced the loss of a child. How long has it been?
3 years.
3 years. And
Yeah.
we have that in common because I lost a daughter too in 2020. And we are talking about the book she just published, and it is called My Guardian Angel. Hold it up so they can see what the cover looks like and all of that. And we're going to get into it. I love that cover. And she lost her son 3 years ago. So, what inspired you to tell your story?
I have been experiencing a lot of grief and pain and sorrow,
Mhm.
and his spirit kind of, God, I put it this way, God allowed his spirit to come back to give me peace,
Mm.
to help me through my grieving process.
Mhm.
And during that time, I realized that he was preparing my son for the spirit world, and he was guiding both of us at the same time.
Wow.
And I wanted to inspire others that may be going through similar things or losing a loved one.
Mhm.
And the book is really about not only having faith, but also keeping the faith and hoping that it can make others think more about life itself.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I wanted my words to be able to speak through others through my book,
Right.
because grieving can make a person be vulnerable
Mhm.
to other people and also to the devil too.
Oh yeah.
So yes, you got to be mindful of that. And most about my testimony. I
Mhm.
have that in the book, and how God had been good to me. There were times where that I was like giving up,
Mhm.
and I had to really deep down go back and grab that faith and kept the faith.
Absolutely. And I love that because loss of anyone is a tragic thing, right? But the loss
Yes,
of a child is something that you'll never get over. Never get
that's
over. And I'm glad that you didn't turn your back on God because some people do that. Some people
yes,
blame
right.
God and they just shy away from him instead of grabbing hold to their faith, like you said, and allowing God to, carry you through the journey. And I'm not saying that the journey is easy because it is not. It's not. And some days you don't want to get out of bed, and some days you don't want to be bothered with people, and some days people don't know what to say. And I realize that some people just don't know what to say, especially if they've never gone through it. So, how did you figure out who was actually there for you during your time of loss? Did you go through people who you thought was going to be there for you, didn't be there for you? How did you go through that? What was that experience
Uh,
like?
yeah, how I found out really it was my son, because I have a recording of him talking,
Mhm.
because I kept telling everybody he lost his phone. It was something about that phone, and I kept looking for that telephone. And my oldest daughter, her name is Arroyo,
Mhm.
she calls me on the phone to tell me that she got a picture of my son standing on my door.
Mhm.
And she told him, Mama not gonna believe this is you on this recording, so I need to take your picture.
Mhm.
So he posed and she took his picture.
Mhm.
Not only did she took one picture, he turned his head and took another picture.
Mhm.
So when I got home, I listened to the recording. I seen the pictures first, and I knew that was him because you could see it real good.
Right.
So I listened to the recording. I hear my son saying phone, and he was saying car, which
Mm.
I still had the recording with me. And the next morning, we was in the yard, and the alarm in his car went off. You got to remember that the car been wrecked,
Right.
sitting down 3 months. The
Mhm.
car started beeping.
Mm.
And if I wasn't there, I wouldn't believe it myself,
Mhm.
And so we ran to the car. And I'm like, my daughter said, it's the phone. He wants you to get the phone. I'm like, well, the police helped me look for this phone. I had his brothers come out. We towed the car up trying to find his phone. We could not find his phone.
Wow.
And all this is described in the book, how we located that phone.
Mhm.
And
Don't
it's
tell
amazing.
don't tell too much. Don't tell too much of the book because we want them to buy it.
It's just so amazing. I wouldn't believe none of this myself if I hadn't experienced it.
Right.
So I was just hoping that by writing about it, it could help others in case they've been going through something similar to this, because it was amazing for me. It was shocking. It was scary, but it was amazing.
Right. Absolutely.
Pray, pray, pray.
Right.
But it was him because he had told us that not only did he come, there were others that come too,
Mhm.
but I had to get him out of here. But
Mhm.
he had told that he gonna sound like a butterfly, so I know when he come.
Oh, wow.
He
Wow.
left a butterfly sound. That's how I knew
Wow.
he came, so I wouldn't get him mixed up with anybody else.
Right. Wow.
Mhm.
That's awesome. You know, now what do you want readers to gain by reading your story, the book about
I
everything
want
that you
them,
have on it in it?
okay. I want them to gain faith. I want them to remember to keep the faith, because that's the main important thing is faith. Because you don't have faith, you lost.
Absolutely. How has sharing your story impacted your life?
It impacted my life a lot because it's helped me through my grieving process also.
Mhm.
And it gave me something to do when I was experiencing everything I was going through. I was writing it down. I said, this can't be real. And I was saving it, and I was taking pictures. I was putting it on Facebook, and
Mm.
it was just so amazing. And I was like a nervous wreck at the time, but then I learned not to say that I am nervous, because you don't
Power
do
in
that.
words. Mhm.
That's right. The
Mhm.
tongue is powerful.
Absolutely.
I had to learn not to say that I am nervous. So I started writing,
Mm.
and I had been supposed to write a book, which
Mhm.
I did years ago, but I never did go through with the book.
Right.
And so this time when I was going through this, I said I might as well go and start back writing, because I had
Absolutely.
been in high school
Mhm.
and I gave it up. They said if you don't use it, you'll lose it.
Yep. Yep.
So now after this happened, it inspired me to start back writing.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad that you were obedient because some of us, experience certain things in our lives and we just turn our backs on the passions or the things that we know that we're supposed to be doing and find ourselves in this dark space. So I'm glad that you didn't allow yourself to get encapsulated into that dark space because
Yes,
life is hard. Losing loved ones is hard, and experiencing the things that you write about that you wrote about in your book. I know I probably would have been freaked out, but I have also experienced some supernatural things. But when you tell that to people that don't understand, they
you
can
go.
look at you like you losing your mind, or
Yeah,
oh,
right.
or like you just making stuff up. Did you have people think that you were making this up?
Well, some of them did and some of them didn't, because I went to pastors. I went to preachers.
Mm-hmm.
I went to like 5 of them, asking them questions. I let them listen to the video. Please help me. I went to the altar. I just did everything I possibly could do,
Mm-hmm.
because I thought I was losing my mind.
Right.
Some of them was frightened. And then one pastor in particular told me that that was God. God was with my son, helping me get through the grieving process, and that's kind of gave me peace.
Right.
And he told me just let it wear itself out. Just talk to him, just like you talking to him in person.
Mm-hmm.
But I was born with a gift because I'm the seventh child, and I was born June the 27th, 1967. And I always was told I was a wise child.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I had forgot I had the gift until I lost my child.
Right.
Because I kind of got it out my mind,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't worrying about it, and until this happened, then it all started coming back to
Right. Right.
yes.
Wow. Wow. I mean, and just listening to it, it gives me goosebumps, like for real,
Yeah.
because I'm just so glad that you are able to talk about it and share your story. And I'm proud of you. I just wanted to say that I'm proud of you
Thanks a lot.
because putting yourself out there and opening yourself up, people are mean.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I wasn't able. Every time somebody used to bring it up to me about him, I
mhm,
used to just break down in
mhm,
the stores, and nobody can't say nothing but I'm so sorry. Everybody just tells you, I'm so sorry, loss of your son. Them the same exact words you hear over and over
over
and
and
over,
over. Mm-hmm.
and nothing you can do about it. And now, since I wrote the book, I could talk about it, without breaking down.
Right.
It
Because you're
made me
you're
stronger.
accepting that healing process.
Yes.
Yes. What advice would you share with anyone who has experienced the loss of a child?
Well, it's so hard to say because I talked to different parents. Parents had reached out to me
Mm-hmm.
that person that had lost a child about
Mm-hmm.
around the same age as my son. And I don't really know, but I could tell you this here that my son had helped two other family members get to their child. It was just like God was using him while he was gone because somebody came here. I'm gonna give you an example, and I
Okay.
thought I put in the book. A lady was taking money from a lady on Facebook saying, or some psychic lady, or pretend like she was a psychic, saying that if you give me $50, I can talk to your son.
Mm-hmm.
The lady gave her $50, and the woman gonna tell her that her son was standing up in a dark place, just standing there, and she was crying, and she started drinking every single day.
Mm.
And when she told me about it, and I said, no, God don't, that's a child. It don't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
So my oldest daughter, she have a gift too.
Mm-hmm.
So before she talked to my son, she always said the Lord's Prayer. She'll pray.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll say, Lord, you let my son hear me. God, let him guide his way to me.
Mm-hmm.
So when Dario would show up, she'll say, Dario, do you know such and such a person? Can you find him for me?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to have the family hear him. And I'm sitting there listening at all this, but I just couldn't believe it.
Right.
And she's showing me a picture of my son and the boy together just that fast.
Right.
And then she got another recording that his little first cousin had a nickname. She was sitting here and just sitting on the couch, and she played this recording. She said, Dario, you got him here, let him say something. And the little boy called the little girl the nickname that he gave her, and the girl just bust out crying. And I'm jumping up like, what just happened in front of me?
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't believe it. And the family got a chance to get pictures of their loved one, and she stopped drinking. She don't drink no more,
Right.
And she see son is at peace and he happy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like he was just helping other family members by going getting these people. I guess like we see each other. Me and you living people can see each other.
Mm-hmm.
So dead people see each other too. People don't know that.
Right.
And spirits follow other spirits.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to be real careful when he come here, other spirits will come too.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yes. You see
Yeah,
each other.
you have to stay prayed up too, because that could be dangerous.
That's
Yes.
very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he told me he gonna sound like a butterfly. So I know him from them.
Right.
And then you could feel the presence of him. And because the other ones you come like in a dark place, he came in the light. He didn't care how he came. My son came in the light.
Right.
I got pictures in the daytime, right over my head.
Wow.
He came in the light hugging his dad. I got all kind of pictures.
Wow. That's amazing. That's
That's some
amazing. It
telling you.
is. It is. Now tell listeners, where can they purchase your book? I know anybody that's in Greensburg and surrounding areas, they can get a signed
Yeah,
copy from Debbie personally. She has copies on hand. But for the listeners who are near and far, tell them how can they purchase your book.
they can go on Amazon.com. It's on Amazon for
And $7.99, and we're gonna change that price in a little bit, so it's not gonna be that much. So y'all go and get it before we change the price. It's not gonna be $7.99 for too long. That is too low because you didn't have to share your story with us. We're not
Yeah,
entitled to that story. So yeah, y'all go get it. When y'all hear this episode, y'all make sure y'all go get it, because once it airs, the price will not be $7.99. So show them again. Show them again the book cover so they can see it. And it's called My Guardian Angel by Debbie Burton. And y'all can go and look for it on Amazon.com. It is an amazing story. And if you don't have faith and believe in God, I pray that it touch you in some way. I do challenge you to read it and be inspired by the things that she experienced with her son and the journey and her testimony that she shares in this book. So what's next for Debbie the author? Is this just a one and done? You have other books that you working on? Or what do you got going on?
I'm thinking about doing a romance novel next.
Okay.
Yes.
I love that. You know, I'm all for that. I'm all for that.
Oh,
Yes, I'm all for that. So, I like to ask this thing on a personal note. So, on a personal note, what would Debbie now tell younger Debbie about keeping the faith? Because that has been like the overall theme of this podcast episode. So, what would your now self tell your younger self about keeping the faith?
well, it's in the book.
Mm.
You have to really read the book, because my testimony is in the book about the things that I went through, and it describing how I'm stronger now than I was back then.
Right.
So really, they're gonna have to read
the book to find that answer out.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Love it. Hey, and I didn't know that. I didn't know that because I asked this question to all of my guests on a personal note. So in order to find out Debbie's answer to my question on a personal note, read My Guardian Angel by her, and you will find that out by reading the book. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So it has been a pleasure having you on the podcast.
Okay, then.
You know, I'm so excited that you came. So you guys already know that I'm on all the major platforms for podcasts, as well as my YouTube channel. So y'all make sure y'all go and subscribe. Make sure y'all go and leave some reviews and things like that. Rate the podcast, because that helps. That helps.
Yes.
And we're going to go ahead and get out of here. You guys have been listening to another episode of Kicking It with KeKe, Love, Life, and all that other shit. I have been joined with my dear cousin, newly published author, Debbie Burton. Y'all make sure y'all go and get her book. It's called My Guardian Angel. It is available on Amazon.com, and you have it in paperback and ebook, right? It is for if you have a Kindle or a tablet or anything like that, you can download it for that as well.
Yes.
Yes. All right, guys. Y'all make sure that if your life doesn't inspire you on a daily basis, it's time to do something different. You have the power to change your life. Don't just waddle in whatever. Don't just accept whatever. Have the faith to push through it and know that you are a conqueror and not conquered. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.